Prepare yourself, guys. This is
Prepare yourself. Very weird.
T3 Media.
Through the media.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Through the Media. It's your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Send in those questions and those comments. Just drop them below because we want to hear them. I'm Amy Newman, and joining me today is the marvelous Mr. Fagan.
Well, outstanding. Hey, guys, I want you to stay active in this community. Send those topics you want us to talk about here on the show because we like talking about them right here on Why Is That Trending. Remember, you can email those to us at l@t3medias.com. Don't forget, you can also catch us on the podcast. It's on iTunes and on SoundCloud. So right now, let's go right into the main stories right now. Amy, can you tell us what's trending out there right now?
Well, obviously, the biggest story in entertainment this past week was the passing of Chadwick Boseman. There has been a lot of discussion now of what that's going to mean for Black Panther 2, who could take on the mantle of Black Panther. As I'm sure most of you know, actor Chadwick Boseman passed away at the age of 43 after battling colon cancer for 4 years, according to a statement posted on his Twitter account. It is with immeasurable grief that we confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. The statement reads, "It was the honor of his life to bring King T'Challa to life in Black Panther." Boseman worked on a number of films and TV shows over the last 2 decades, including 42, where he portrayed iconic baseball player Jackie Robinson, playing James Brown in Get On Up, and recently in Spike Lee's The Five Bloods. But he was best known for his role as Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Boseman first took on the role as T'Challa in Marvel's 2016 film Captain America: Civil War, before starring in his own Black Panther film in 2018. Chris, I know you've talked a bit about Chadwick Boseman's passing on the channel, but I think a lot of people are still just really rocked by it. It all just feels very sudden and surreal.
I did a reaction to it right there. I don't know if you saw it. I was watching television with Joy, and we were watching like a comedy or something. I can't even remember what the show was. I think it was like Lucifer on Netflix, and maybe I paused it to get a drink or something like that. It was somewhere kind of like a break between episodes, and Joy was on her phone, and just look on her face, and she goes, "Chadwick Boseman just died," and it was instant, like, get the out of here. No, check that again. Like that was my reaction, and it took me.
My brother saw it on his phone at dinner, and I think had the same I need to triple check this because that can't possibly be correct.
So you were at you said it was like dinner time, and it's just
we were all sitting and eating, like having my brother just had a bit of a promotion at work, so we were having a little bit of a celebration, and he looked at his phone and he was like, oh my God. And definitely not what anybody was expecting him to say. And the whole room just kind of went quiet, a definite disbelief. But, someone pointed out, and it's incredible, he was battling his disease for 4 years, and immense credit to everyone in his camp. I don't think anybody knows how many people were aware of what was happening, but that it never did leak. No one did have it, which is obviously what he preferred, just that he was really able to go and have his career and leave his legacy behind, and that wasn't really part of the conversation during his life. I have just a ton of respect for both him and everyone in his camp, and just sort of how everyone handled that. I thought was just really impressive, especially for such a public career.
Yeah, I agree. And guys, I mentioned this on the reaction video. I went live on it. And we'll talk about live streaming more a little bit later, but I decided to just go live on it and talk about it. I didn't expect the turnout that came in as I did. It was nice. It was great that a lot of you guys you chimed in, even though it was just in a dark room. It wasn't like well lit like the way it was. I was just in the moment. I just wanted to react. But a lot of you guys, you joined me live. You communicated with me. We went back and forth on it, and we had a pretty decent conversation. One of the things that I said during that conversation was that I was not going to get into the whole what does this mean for Black Panther and Marvel discussion at the moment. One of the things that I noticed a lot online that was happening on Facebook, Twitter, and everything was the fact that people were saying things like, They should not do another Black Panther movie. They should not have him in the movie at all. They shouldn't, they if we can't have Chadwick Boseman, he should not, the character should not, I guess, go further. Which I don't know how you feel about that. To me, that totally does not make sense. It's not, for one thing, it's not what's going to happen. Let's just be clear about that, guys. No matter how I know it, you think that it's honoring that person, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It would not. That is not what he would want. Yeah. And the same thing could be said about Paul Walker. Everybody said the same thing. Paul Walker's dead. That they should not make any more Fast and Furious movies at all. I mean, that's not what Paul Walker was, one of the producers of that movie, and he would not have wanted that. And I feel the same way about Chadwick. And I'll go into a little bit more detail about that later. But what do you think about that idea? Did you see any of that going around, or just in general? What do you think about that mind frame when bad news like this hits and fans instantly goes, well, that's it. No one else should play that character ever again in the future. How do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, I think first and foremost, just at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. I can't assume that's what, I mean, I didn't know the man, obviously, but it doesn't strike me as what anyone would want who was close to him or Chadwick Boseman himself. But also, I feel like that concept very much goes against sort of what I feel about superheroes.
Right.
Which sort of the concept of superheroes is like Black Panther is about T'Challa, but it's also about like what that character represents. And I can't speak to what that character means for people, but just in the last couple of days, seeing, people speaking up about what that character meant for their kids, to get to see a Black superhero, to get, and again, that's not something I personally can even really speak to or understand the magnitude of, but I feel like it would be a disservice to how beloved and how important and how powerful and how good that movie was to completely say, shut it down, we're never doing it again.
Right.
And like I said, a disservice to sort of why superheroes are so important is it is about what they represent. It is about, legacy, what they can pass on, whether that be a new generation, whether that be another character in that world. But, I think all I can really speak to is, as an actor, if I created something that was really beloved and important and meant so much to so many people, and so many people were deeply looking forward to seeing that legacy continue, I would never want that to die with me.
Right.
I think that creates sort of an ego thing around it, and I do not get the feeling that was ever where he came from with that. And I do not think, knowing how much that movie meant to people, anyone in that camp would want that story and those characters to not continue on in some way.
Right. And it's not to belittle what a fan who obviously had that emotional reaction to seeing that, like that. The news about that movie was one of the most successful videos that I've ever done on this channel. Just having a one-on-one movie news or entertainment news discussion years ago, before that movie came out, when it was announced. The topic of that conversation was, this movie will be the first movie directed by a Black director with an all-Black cast with the budget that it has. It was the most expensive movie with that much of an all-Black cast and production team of all time. And that was just the topic that I went in, and I got a lot of feedback on it, because I was really I was passionate about the topic, and I don't know where it came from, but when I realized that fact, I was like, nobody's talking about this. And that's what, I guess it projected onto the screen. I was really, really passionate about that, and people really got into the conversation with me, like, I never thought of it like that. That's true. And it was every conversation I've had about Black Panther on this channel has been a very good conversation. So I understand it, guys, when it's like, I don't want to see anybody else play this character. You feel that way because he's the only one so far that's ever played the character. If, God forbid, if Robert Downey Jr. were to have passed away after doing Iron Man 2, I guarantee you that Kevin Feige would have called Tom Cruise a couple of months later, because Tom Cruise was on the short list, was slated to be Iron Man, and then it just the stars aligned for Robert Downey Jr. And we're thinking like, I can't see anybody else playing this character. Well, you say that, but if Tom Cruise would have, or anybody else would have played Black Panther or whatever, if Tom Cruise would have played Iron Man, you would have been saying the same thing about whoever was, if they did a great job, right? But it's just how passionate we get, and I get it. But Black Panther wasn't invented for Chadwick Boseman, and he's been around for decades before a movie was ever created. So he would not want, like you just said perfectly, he would not want that to go with him, because it wasn't his. It was something that he wanted to put his all in. Look at what he did while he was after he was diagnosed in secret. Nobody knew about it, and he decided, instead of telling the world about it, and he could have just taken all the money that he got so far, which was a lot, and he could have just retired then, and I'm gonna take this time with the family. This is why, and then no. He decided to, just like he said in his one of his statements, he's decided to use all the God-given talent that he was given and use it up until the end. And that's what he decided. That was what he left. So why, just like you said, why would he want that to end because of this tragedy? He would not. That's not how you honor him. You honor him by keeping it going and whatnot. So I mean, that's just where I am on it. Just to go on the executive side of it, Disney and Kevin Feige and them, I'm 100% sure that they knew about this years ago. When he probably after he was diagnosed, I'm sure he had a conversation with. I'm so surprised that it didn't leak. And
you can't be a part of something this big and something like a Marvel Disney production like that. Right. Something like that couldn't slip through the radar. They would know. They would have found out.
And it speaks to how well respected he was that they kept it to themselves. Mm-hmm. That's what like I said, I don't know if you saw that was the main thing I stayed focused on. While everybody was saying, what's this mean for Black Panther? I said, let's talk about what's more important. I appreciate the fact that he was able to keep this to himself and have the time that he needed with his family. Mm-hmm. And then I mean, yeah, it hurts because we it feels like it hit us out of nowhere. But think about the fact that he was able to go out the way he wanted to go out, and then do it the way he wanted to do it. He gave us this lineup of great performances all the way to the end. Mm-hmm. And then he got to share his moments with his family in quiet and peace and with. I mean, it was a little couple of hiccups here and there with the picture that came out, the video that came out. People were wondering if it was a role or not. But for the most part,
at the end of the day, what a legacy and what a
Thurgood Marshall, the movie Get On Up, and I have to finish watching all of his movies because I want to probably. Talk about like that later on, I guess, in the future. Maybe I'll do a reaction video or a ranking video for just for me but I have to catch up to all of those movies and not just because I don't want Black Panther to be the only thing that I think of when I think of him, because he deserves more than that. Anything else on top of on that part of it that so because we're gonna go off on this segment. But before we do, the last thing I know that you guys. So here's what we want to talk about. You guys that you were in the comment section, and I loved it. It's what I needed to say and get it off my chest. I'm sorry that I couldn't join in that conversation when you guys were ready to have it about who should play Black Panther moving forward. Because speculations and stuff is something that I do a lot on this channel. But I needed to I just felt like I needed to respect them, and I felt like I wanted to do that in the moment. But it's been a couple of days since, and I have a list of names that I've seen you guys out there floating around, and I have a wild card to throw there in there too. But and you said you had an idea as well too, like you. I
mean, it's certainly not my idea, by no means. But I personally, and like I said, I assume at this point Disney has some concept of and Marvel has some concept of where they want to go with this. Mm-hmm. I've seen the concept going around of Letitia Wright as Shuri, just taking over the mantle. Apparently, I'm not super familiar with the comics, but from what I've seen, that's actually something that does happen in the comics, that Shuri takes over as the Black Panther, which I think is super cool. I saw someone saying it would be so amazing, you know, for young black girls to get to see a hero that looks like them, just in the same way, you know, that happened with T'Challa for young black boys. So I think it would be a wonderful idea. I think and I haven't seen anybody saying they wouldn't be pretty thrilled, because it feels just like a very lovely, sort of poignant way to pass that story along. And also she's phenomenal in those movies, and I'd love to see her get more to do. I don't know what the game plan is, but that's the one I've seen going around that really went, oh yeah, that would be a wonderful move. And I haven't seen anyone have issue with that.
It's the one move that I feel that people would have less like backlash on it, because you're and just like with Robin Williams' death, and when Will Smith played the genie, just like with Carrie Fisher when she died, and what should they do with Princess Leia and whatnot. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. No matter what decision they make, it's always going to have like 50% of people are going to be like outraged at it. No, you should definitely recast. No, you should not.
The idea of recasting that role just feels like such an unwinnable uphill battle for if they bring a completely new actor in. Like, I would not want to be in that position.
Yeah.
Going up to
but it happens. It does. You don't want it to happen like this soon, but it's happened. Christopher Reeves, and then on the Superman Returns movie, I'm forgetting his name right now. I see his face, but I'm forgetting his name right now. I want to say Tom Welling, but it's not Tom Welling. That's the Smallville TV show. But when he stepped in, the actor who reprised that role, he was playing the Christopher Reeve Superman, and that's a different circumstance and whatnot. It was years, and maybe people feel like that's what should happen. Maybe we should go, if they were planning on having a Black Panther 2 come out in like 2022 or something like that, maybe they should push it off until further than that. But guys, you have to remember, Kevin Feige has had these plans in the works. Every movie that comes out from Marvel today was written and talked about in a think tank like 5 or so plus years ago, and then they go through the motions. So Kevin's not going to disrupt that. But I think that the Shuri thing, as much we talked about this before the show, like as much backlash that people give or grief that people give like women like Brie Larson and things like that, I feel like this would be the one time where they go, even a person on an outlet that was like, I hate when women take over, and would see that and go, yes, that's exactly what needs to happen. I feel like they would all get on board with that faster. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen. The character T'Challa, he is it's like the whole Peter Parker thing. I mean, we like the other Spider-Mans. We're starting to get used to him, but Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and T'Challa is the Black Panther, and that's what's going to happen moving forward. So a couple of names that I saw floating around, a couple of theories, I guess, speculations that people, I guess, or maybe a wish list. So from Get Out and also from Black Panther, Daniel Kaluuya, he played T'Challa's friend. People were like, well, why don't he was in the movie. He was T'Challa's friend. And I said, maybe. But I think you got to remember how that movie ended. He kind of betrayed his friend to join Michael B. Jordan's character and fought against him. So I think he's in prison. I don't know if he's dead or not, but I think he's in prison. I don't think they're going to be like, you know what? If you didn't betray us, we would have given it to you. So I don't think that's going to happen. Just story-wise, I think that would be counterproductive. Also, here's a name that I did not see coming. Also from Get Out, but from was it Sorry for Bothering You? I never saw the movie, but I don't know if you saw it. Lakeith Stanfield. You remember him?
Yeah, he's on Atlanta.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just like recently having the discussion with someone of like, I really like Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah. Like he's popped up in a lot of stuff lately, and it was
the movie that he just did with that was on Netflix, the Adam Sandler movie. Help me out. He was where he played the guy who was always betting his money and guys, I'm sorry. He was just in a drama with Adam Sandler, And
He was in
Google that, but Lakeith Stanfield, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be upset with it
good
because he's a good actor. People also, and then here's the obvious. Just as much as people are saying the Shuri character should play Black Panther, they are equally saying, if not more, Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger character. Even though
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems, yeah.
My brain forgot Adam Sandler was in that movie.
Right, because he vanished. That was not Adam Sandler. That was Mr.
He's also in Knives Out.
Yes. I loved him. I got to watch that movie again. But Michael B. Jordan's name came up a lot. I mean, my mother told me straight up, I am never going to watch another Marvel movie again because they took out Killmonger. I'm like, his name was Killmonger, Mom. He was the bad guy, but he had points. He was making sense. He was just trying to help.
Honestly, that's part of why Black Panther's so good. Is the villain is not just I'm going to be evil.
Evil just for the sake of being evil.
The villain's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
You don't have to agree. His methods are what start pushing him over that line to the bad guy, but it's,
And I feel like if Chadwick didn't get the role, I think Michael B. Jordan might have gotten the role instead. Maybe he would have been Black Panther, and he would be an outstanding Black Panther. But I don't think they're gonna do that to Killmonger's character. I don't think that's gonna happen. It would be awesome. I would freak out, but they would really. It would be a lot of back and forth on it. I think, just like Shuri, I think people would be okay with it.
Someone working someone in from in universe.
Yeah,
I think would sit a lot if they can find a reason to make Shuri the Black Panther or make Killmonger the Black Panther, as opposed to, because I think it's when you get into we are recasting T'Challa that I feel like it might start feeling like you are stepping on that legacy for people.
I feel that I understand when people say that, but I don't think Chadwick would agree. I just don't. He, like you said, he would not want everything to halt, like that.
Sure.
But
yeah.
But from within, if anybody from within that makes the most sense, it's his sister. It's the character sister, T'Challa's sister. That's the one that makes the most sense. But then you got to figure out
that's canonical from the comics,
right.
Which I feel like always gives people a nice I can't be man.
But so from within the universe, the only person that I would want would be his sister, if that's the route that they're going to go. But if they're going to recast, here are my picks. And I'm going to start with my wild card pick. And I don't even know how people are going to react to this. I'm not even going to tell you.
You're going to say a white guy. That's the true.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. I'm totally thinking of what's his name from The Neighbors, from High School Musical. What's his name? Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, I'm totally thinking. Yeah, he should be the Black Panther. Oh my God. I would. All of my friends would disown me. I'd be kicked out of the black delegation so fast. But
I don't know if I can tell you that's wrong, but that's wrong.
Chris, no. But no, my wild card pick would be Ray Fisher, the man who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie. I don't know why that feeling hit me. Ever since his beef started up with, he's now beefing with Warner Brothers because of his character being cut, and he's saying that there was so much abuse that was happening to him on the set of from Josh Whedon, who helped finish directing and completing that film, and they're having a little Twitter battle, and he's out there saying that Josh Whedon was this and how Josh Whedon was that. Now I'm thinking, what if Marvel picked him up? They did it before. The person who directed Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm forgetting the name at the moment, and then he got picked up to do Suicide Squads, and then now he's still back on to do. These crossovers have happened before. If anybody from Warner Brothers, if this whole DC Marvel thing, I'm thinking, what if Ray Fisher was picked?
He doesn't have name recognition. They need to pick someone that's an instant, I know who that is and I'm okay with it, or people are going to.
Right. But yeah, you're right. So that's what I'm thinking, that would be an instant scandal. So I don't know why.
With that, and then you look it up and be like,
oh no, Cyborg. But I'm not saying that that's who I want. I'm basically saying, how would you feel, guys? How would you feel about that? So just put the pin in that and just put that in the box.
Just put it on your dream board.
No, it's not on my dream board. I just feel like if they were going to shake something up.
That's a board of things you dream about, apparently. I don't know.
You want to know what would be on my dream board? Here, if I was to make a logical pick, if you ask me, Chris, you're at the round table, Kevin's right there, you know, and trust me, I'm 100% convinced that before he passed, that Chadwick was a part of this conversation. I am 100% convinced that he put his input into, you know, how he feels about the character, and you should, if you're going to make the pick, make it on this point. And I'm sure, I'm not saying that he gave names. I'm just saying he probably gave his input on it. I would bet money on that. Here's the name that if I was a betting man, here's the name I would put the money on. John David Washington, that's about to come out in Tenet. He's the person that I think would probably be in the top 5. I'm not saying he would get it, but if I was a betting man, he would probably be my pick out of all, unless there's like besides a totally unknown and whatnot. But if it was a person that you want, who probably could fill the role, he has the acting chops. He's on a rise right now. He's a name that I think people would not be upset with. Denzel Washington, Denzel's son. You pretty much got a Denzel, right? You got Denzel in there. And if Tenet is as good as people are saying it is, I'm thinking people wouldn't be upset with that, guys. Let me know. What do you think about that pick? Would you be upset with that?
Oh, are you asking me? Or are you asking?
I'm asking you.
I thought you were asking the fourth wall.
I am asking the fourth wall later.
I don't think it would bother me, but I feel like as long as it's handled, I am less concerned with who takes over the role, because they're not going to hand it to someone who's incapable. I am more I would be more bothered about how they handle like the handoff in the movie, and right. I'm sure they will come up with something. I hope they would come up with something. I'm convinced that they're not going to acknowledge it. Just like when they recast, when Don Cheadle took on the role of War Machine, they didn't acknowledge it. They kind of acknowledged it in the movie as look, it's me, I'm here, get used to it. Oranges. You said what? I think that's just apples. I think it's a different situation. I think to not acknowledge a loss like that people felt so deeply, and it's like you can't get around that. People are going to know. People are going to want to know how you deal with it. I mean, I don't think they can just recast and move on. I might be wrong, but to me, I think that move would make people as uncomfortable as if they cast the wrong person. No, I know what you mean, but I'm like in the 90th percentile. They're going to recast. And it's not the next Marvel movie, it might not be the Black Panther. It'll be both. The next Marvel movie, they're going to say in loving memory of. And they're going to do that. And then when Black Panther 2 comes out, they're going to do it again in loving memory of. And they might even give them a production credit. I'm like, I've got to be in like 95% that they're going to handle it the same way they handled it with Don Cheadle, because they have to. Because whoever that person is going to be the person that's going to be Black Panther. I mean, it's not to diss Chadwick, but no, of course I'm just thinking that he's going to just come in the frame. I don't know if he's going to be wearing the mask at first or if he's going to just be T'Challa, but I just feel like they're just going to just start the movie and just this. I mean, the first bit of it is going to be from the trailer anyway, so that's just if they decide to recast, but. I'm like somewhere in the 90th percentile, guys. Well, guys, okay, let us know. I know we ran on this one a long time, so I wanted to just get your thoughts on that. Those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings about it. And there you go. There's my speculations on who would probably be picked for a possible Black Panther 2 for the role of T'Challa. Let us know what you guys think about that. Am I crazy on those my wild card picks and other names that came up out there on the internet? So put it in the box below. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll probably definitely be talking about that on We Got Your Mail. So I just want to just say, brother, I appreciate your work and everything that you did. All right, Amy. So let's move on to the next topic of the day. What do we got? We got some finally, in what has been a long couple of months, some box office numbers coming in. From BoxOffice Mojo, Disney's The New Mutants topped the domestic weekend box office at $7 million. Solstice Studios' Russell Crowe road rage thriller Unhinged kept cruising along for a second place finish with $2.6 million. Other high-profile new releases, United artists Bill and Ted Face the Music and Fox Searchlight's The Personal History of David Copperfield settled in at third and fifth, respectively. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers' Tenet soared ahead of its U.S.-bound next weekend with a strong overseas showing of $53 million. Box office numbers, they're back, baby.
I'm wondering... I'm looking at these numbers now. And they're slowly, the theaters are slowly opening where they can. They're doing what they can. They're doing what they do. I'm wondering if Disney is like, damn, we should have waited with the Mulan thing, man. Maybe we should have waited.
At least get a little bit of that money back and then do I think even like a duel may have not been an awful idea to be like, if you want to go to theaters, go to theaters. If you're not comfortable, we get it. It'll be on demand in a couple months.
I think that there's a conflict on that, but then I'm wondering, how did Bill and Ted do it? Because they went straight to the streaming, but I think the theaters, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong about this.
No, that sounds right.
The theaters that did pull it in, they must have done that thing where you can like buy a screen, like if you wanted to watch your favorite movie in a theater, then you have to pay a certain amount of money and get it played in there, get the rights to it. I'm wondering if they did something like that, if that's why some of these theaters were able to play it. I don't understand why Bill and Ted was able to do both. They went straight to streaming. And
I think it's the right idea because I feel like people going to theaters right now, it is not about seeing the movie, because if it was, no one would go see that Russell Crowe movie. I feel like what it is about is, I want to go do something.
Yeah, I want to get out.
You know how I know that? Because I know people who are like, I'm finally out, and then going to like BJ's Brew House. And I'm like, if this was about getting a really high quality meal, you wouldn't be going to a damn Applebee's. This is just, you're bored.
Like, come on, Amy, let's go. We're going to go see Unhinged. And you're like,
oh my God. I saw a review that was just like, I don't recommend risking your life in a movie theater.
Oh my God. Really?
So I really don't recommend risking your life in a theater for Unhinged. Like, noted.
What? I'm gonna have to watch this movie now.
It does not sound good.
Sometimes I gotta watch a movie that I hear is so bad. I'm like, I gotta see this freaking thing.
Yeah, but no, I do think the dual opening can work because, like I said, I don't think it's about I want to see this movie. I think it's about I want to get out of the house. I mean, and eat.
So I'm curious how Bill and Ted was able to do it now. So and Tenet was supposed to be out this weekend, but I think they got pushed to beginning of next week, right, for September. So for the U.S. But this is interesting. I'm curious. The only thing that just keeps hitting me over and over again, because there's New Mutants right there. There's Tenet about to come out. I'm wondering if I keep coming back to Disney Plus. Disney thinking that they might have made a mistake. Because didn't China started getting their numbers down real fast? I mean, faster than we did. But,
everybody's faster than we did. So.
But because that was the movie that was expected to do very well in China. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if they're regretting just pulling the plug and going, we're gonna just go to Disney Plus. But who knows? Let us. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to see Tenet in the theater. I'm going to risk it. I'm probably going to go by myself, and then I'll go in an early time of the day where I can guarantee nobody is around me. I don't care how much spacing they're doing. I want people I want it to be me and maybe Chad way up in the back. I don't care. I don't want anybody nowhere near me. But if not, but I'll keep my mask on the whole time. I might risk it for that, but not the first week. No. Not the first week. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait it out and see how it goes. But so far, it's the people that have been going have been saying it's been okay, and they've trusted the sanitation plans. If you like it, I love it. I'm gonna do some more research first, guys. Let us know what you guys think about that. Are you gonna go to the movie theaters and risk it all for Unhinged, like Amy will definitely be doing, or are you just gonna wait it out? Watch Bill and Ted at home. Put in the box below. Let us know what you guys
think. All I know is I know which one I don't have to wear pants to do. So.
All right. You heard it here first. All right. What's the last thing that's trending out there?
We're going to get a little saucy. No, I don't. Belle Thorne joined OnlyFans, clearing $1 million in a single day, setting a record for the subscription-based social media platform. Thorne joined OnlyFans and set her price at $20 per month for a subscription to her feed, and almost immediately the blowback began. To witness a celebrity gentrifying a platform and making obscene amounts of money without acknowledging the plight of sex workers is truly a slap in the face. Aussie Rachel, a sex worker and OnlyFans creator, told Rolling Stones. Now, I will say this story is a little more complicated than it even appears, because I don't think anyone was like super offended Belle Thorne wanted to be on OnlyFans.
Right.
As far as I understand it, the issue came, and I apologize if I get details wrong, I'm paraphrasing like a Twitter thread I read, because that's media in 2020. No, I've done some reading on it. From what I understand, there are like pay-per-view, or like you pay to view specific photos or videos on top of your subscription on an OnlyFans. That's an option.
Right.
Belle Thorne, on top of her initial subscription, said, I'm going to do this pay to view photo, and it's going to be a nude photo of me. So obviously a ton of people jumped on that. Turns out the photo was of her in lingerie, not totally nude.
Oh.
And a ton of people got upset and asked for their money back. So this was like financially the biggest blowback of that size that OnlyFans has probably ever seen.
Right.
And so OnlyFans' response to that was to start limiting what you could charge for like a photo or video of that nature, and limiting tips and pushing the pay structure from weekly. You can weekly cash out as a creator to monthly cash outs. So that's where the real offense starts kicking in, as far as I understand it, that people feel like she was dishonest and was kind of trying to scam people. Right.
Because that was the story that I read. I read that she didn't really do nudity, and she definitely didn't do any X-rated kind of stuff, or any actions or anything like that.
She did, or she was misleading in the way she put it out.
So she pulled like the bait and switch move.
And people were like, honestly, like, I've seen a lot of people going, we are sex workers. We take it very seriously that we provide what we say we'll provide, that we provide quality, that our fans are happy with what we're providing for them. So to have it sort of reaffirm that, like, oh, sex workers are just trying to scam people, kind of harmful stereotype.
Right. That's the part of the story that I'm fascinated about. So that's what I took from this article. I'm thinking that real sex workers were just offended, like, you're using your Hollywood fame and your whatever name to, to
I think if she had done it honestly, they would have been fine with it, but feeling like it's reinforcing negative and at the end of the day, it's like, stereotypes be damned, you are costing people money now.
Yeah.
And that is where it gets personal.
$2 million in like what, a couple of days.
You're playing pretend in our world and not taking it seriously.
Right.
And hurting people who rely on this income. Someone said, it's like, imagine if your job just went, oh, you're used to getting paid weekly? Well, now you're not going to get your paycheck till the end of the month.
Am I remembering it correctly? Was she like one of those Disney kids or something? When she was young? I should know.
Literally the whole time this has been happening, I'm like, I don't know who Belle Thorne is.
I don't know who Belle Thorne is, and I'm wondering, and if I'm remembering correctly from the article, I'm thinking that's why it blew up so fast, because I want to say that they asked Ariana Grande or something like that, like what she thought about it. I'm like, why are they asking this? I might be getting the name wrong, but I'm like, why are they asking this other person what she thinks about what Belle Thorne is doing? She must be like a Nickelodeon, or because that's the only thing.
The Chipmunks. Oh yeah, Shake It Up. So she was like a Disney.
See right there, that makes sense of why it blew up so fast. All these sicky dads out there who are watching this little, like, that little girl, when she grows up, she's gonna be very. And then it's like, I'm sorry, but that's exactly why I feel like that's why $1 million, $2 million in like a couple of hours, a couple of days. That's the only reason why these Britney Spears guys were, I don't know if you remember back in the day, that's what happened to her.
Oh, yeah.
These guys saying that they were, I can't wait till she turns 18. That's all you would hear about when Britney Spears was out there. And I feel like that's part of what they were, what it was.
I feel like the other piece of this, did you see her apology?
She apologized?
Oh, she went on Twitter and she did peak Mean Girl apology.
What? How did she say it?
I'm paraphrasing.
Do the accent.
Me paraphrasing tweets I've read.
Here we go.
She went on Twitter and was basically like, I'm super sorry. I don't know what Belle Thorne sounds like.
That's right.
This is what every girl who's prettier than me sounds like in my
head.
Fun fact. She basically did I'm super sorry that I was trying to use my fame to bring more attention to your little website.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was real gross. It was real I'm sorry if my fame was hurtful to your cute little website you're doing here. It was very icky.
But in a way, I kind of understand the anger about it, because imagine if Olivia Wilde or whatever was like, hey, for no reason at all, I'm just gonna get on that this pornographic website and do this and do that, and it would blow things up.
But what it's really like is if Olivia Wilde was like, I'm gonna be in real estate now.
You hit me hard right there. You know I'm a real estate broker.
Was like, I'm giving you a 3-bedroom house, but then she really gave people a 2-bedroom house. Yeah. So then the real estate company's like, we can't have you make as much money for your real estate job now because Olivia Wilde screwed it up for you. And then Olivia Wilde logged on Twitter and was like, I was trying to bring attention. That's not what Olivia Wilde sounds like.
I was trying to bring attention to your little real estate commission.
I was trying to your attention to real estate. I'm just so pretty.
Yeah, that's the equivalent.
That's my the Belle Thorne OnlyFans incident for dummies.
No, you've hit the nail on the head.
Not calling you a dummy.
And speaking from experience, and you'll be surprised on how many people get into that business with no experience at all, and then there's because their first couple of clients were just probably some guys who just want to be toured by a pretty face, and now they get all these $1 million houses. It's a pet peeve of mine. Me and my other broker friends, we argue about that because my punchable face, I got to fight and claw for a client. So it's just I won't waste your guys' time. This is a movie. This is not real estate talk. This is entertainment news. So. It's not talking through the real estate.
But that's essentially what happened, and that's why people are pissed. And I would say rightfully so. And honestly, the backlash has been big enough that I have to assume some sort of walk back of that. This is walk back.
We can't give you the whole $2 million because we don't like you.
Well, not her money, but I feel like what does need to get walked back is the restrictions that they suddenly put on.
So did she get the...
Or people are going to go to another website. I feel like this is how you get only stands, and it's both the Eminem Stan thing, but also only guys named Stan. But that's good because most guys named Stan are super into. I'm
waiting for an equivalent to that site, like a parody site, like Only Karens or something like that. That'd be great. For sure. Guys, let us know what you guys think about that, and I guess we'll talk about it. Put it in the box below and share your thoughts. I'm sure you guys got a lot of opinions about that. We'll talk about it on.
It's just gonna be 8 dudes named Stan being like, how dare you? That's girls who sound prettier than me sound like this, and guys named Stan sound like this. Yeah, that's what it's a little glimpse into my brain.
So tread lightly, guys. But guys, let's.
She crazy.
She crazy. Don't get on her bad side.
No, Huggin. Sorry. You'll have to bleep that one. Just cut the end of this. Yeah. Just cut it.
No, we'll keep it in there. But guys, let's. Speaking of the reason why we treaded on that little risque kind of story, moving forward, I just want to take the time to just let you guys know that we are planning on this channel to do. This is the breaking news part of it, guys. We're not gonna do a question of the thing this time. Not a we got your mail. We're gonna do a little quick update. So we have T3
You
Media.
do need to talk faster because it is going to start sounding like we're starting an OnlyFans.
Right?
Big plan.
We have a Patreon, guys. Just speaking of our own, speaking of OnlyFans, we have a Patreon. So we do have a Patreon account, guys, and we are going to introduce some new new segments to this to our program here that will only be for our Patreon supporters. So it's the same thing of what we do here on YouTube, but we're going to talk about topics like what we just talked about, things like that. That's not necessarily what we always talk about here on the show. Will be
Put
on
the kids to bed before you hit play.
Yeah, for the more mature guy that wants to talk about things in entertainment news, with the cigarette all classy
like
and stuff.
boobies and butts and hoo-hoos.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah. So if you want to see us have Amy Newman just talk about hoo-hoos and wee-wees, no, that's not what
I'll learn the real words and say them.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Only for our patrons. But we just to let you guys know that once we hit 5K, that's the plan. We're going to transition from pre-recorded shows like what we're doing now to more live stream. We'll try to get the bugs out. We'll try to find a system and a schedule that works. And we'll try to do a little bit more live streaming so we can interact with you guys while we're doing the show. And so maybe if you have a question that you want us to answer on the We Got Your Mail version of it, we'll be streaming live through the super chats and to our patrons. Then we'll be able to get those questions read out to you right there on the spot, because we're looking to enhance or evolve and grow the channel more is what I'm trying to say. And we're looking for you guys to be a part of that, to contribute to the community and just join us in these conversations. So we want to be able to bring more to you guys, the things that I think you guys will get a kick out of and like. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, and just let you guys know that that's what's going to be happening, hopefully in the near future. Amy, anything you want to add to that? I mean, did you know?
Hoo-hoos and pee-pees, guys. I'll talk about hoo-hoos and the pee-pees.
Well, there it is. So now you guys like move over, Bella, but so that's the show, guys. That's it. That's all. I'm going to bed. That's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for letting us talk about everything that we talked about, especially with Chadwick. Once again, I want to say I was hit real hard with the news that when that came, and guys, and go chat with me on that one and check out the reaction to that. And on this as well. Let me know what you guys think and anything you guys want to share, how you felt about it. And we'll talk about it some more on We Got Your Mail if you want to do that. Remember, guys, you want to support the channel, become a subscriber. Send us a like. Send us your questions, your comments, questions that you want us to answer on We Got Your Mail. We love to hear them. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram at T3 Medias. And I'm Chris. I'm your host here. And you can always catch me, Chris Fagan, 1980. On Twitter and on Instagram. Miss Amy, where can these guys find you online if they want to just say howdy doody?
Don't do that, but you can follow me on Instagram at amy.n.newman, on Twitter at amy_n_newman, and make sure to check out my OnlyFans. It is only videos of me making and eating peanut butter sandwiches.
Subscribed.
And audience, but the two guys who love it. Love it. Okay.
Well, guys, this episode of Talking Through the Media is brought to you with a heavy heart with the news. So that's no joke on the end of that one. I just want to say rest in peace, Mr. Chadwick Boseman. And I'm loving the fact that Wakanda Forever is trending and his name is trending. And I'm sad. I wish I had better words to express that. I'm still kind of taken back by it, but I'll just Wakanda Forever. And you guys might have noticed I got a little something new up here. I posted that, and that's gonna be there from now on. So he's always good. He meant so much to me, and that's how I'm gonna display my honor and my appreciation for him. So that's it, guys. I appreciate it. Until next time, peace.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.